Good evening, this is Primetime News. I'm Sonali Baduge.
And I'm Ramesh Rugal Bandara. Welcome to Primetime News on MTV. Let's start off with a look at your headlines tonight.
Court orders for the exhumation of the body of rugby player Wasim to take place on Monday. 2 mobile phones recovered from the cell of one of the suspects in the Bharatha Lakshman homicide.
අපිට තහවුරු වුණා නිලධාරීන්ගේ සහයෝගයක් ඇතිව මෙම දුරකථන එම කුටියට ගෙන ගොස් ඇති බව.
Prime Minister responds to Dilan Pereira's bottles of poison.
අපිට වොමනාවක් නැහැ. අන්තිමට ඔය වසකුප්පි අරගන්න සිදු වෙන්නේ ඒ කිව්වේ අයට.
JVP comments on the leading political parties.
දේශපාලනික වශයෙන් විතරක් නෙවෙයි ශාරීරික වශයෙන්ත් මාළුයි දෙයි.
On to our top story tonight. Colombo Additional Magistrate Nishant Piris permitted the Criminal Investigations Department to exhume the body of Ruggerite Wasim Tajuddin following a request from the CID.
Wasim Tajuddin's charred body was found inside a car on the 17th of May 2012 in close proximity to the Shalika grounds in Nara Hempita. Convening a media briefing on that day, police said that Tajuddin's car had crashed into a wall and caught fire at around 2 a.m. Later, a wallet suspected to be belonging to Tajuddin was found in close proximity to the alleged crash site. Wasim Tajuddin was a famous ruggerite since his school days. He eventually rose up the ranks to become the captain of the national rugby team in the year 2007. He was laid to rest at the burial grounds of the Dehiwala Mosque. The Criminal Investigations Department recently informed the court that new investigations into the death of former ruggerite had revealed that the cause of death was not an accidental death but murder. The CID made a request to exhume the body in order to carry out further investigations. Colombo Additional Magistrate Nishant Piris today ordered to exhume the body of national rugby player Wasim Tajuddin in the presence of the panel of the JMO, clerics and the Gramanildari officer, and also ruled that police protection be provided to the body. The case will be taken up again on the 15th of September.
The
body is buried in an area that comes under the Mount Lavinia jurisdiction. Therefore, the magistrate from Mount Lavinia will overlook the exhumation. The CID will make a request from the Mount Lavinia magistrate as well. In addition, the exhumation will be monitored by a group of medical professionals, including the JMO of Colombo. The Criminal Investigations Department will carry out the investigations.
Well, today's trending story is the latest developments on the death of former rugby player Wasim Tajuddin. Here are some of the comments that came in through our social media accounts. Sumali Fernando says that Wasim's family needs justice and urges those responsible be punished. Edward Veerasinghe questions as to why it took 3 years to reach this point. M. Imran says that justice should be meted out not only in this case, but all other cases.
The funeral of the Wattala businessman who was hacked to death took place at the Muslim burial grounds in Wattala.
M. Abisha, a businessman from Bangalawata in Mabole, Wattala, was killed last morning when he was returning from the mosque with his son.
4 persons were arrested last evening and are being detained and interrogated. Investigations are underway to arrest more suspects connected to this homicide.
The victim had been assaulted on a previous occasion before being hacked by assailants yesterday.
They killed the brother of the driver of candidate Naushad. They slit his throat and killed him. They attacked the Wattala Pradesh Sabha from the day police John came on duty. They are filling the marshy lands in Wattala. They are excavating for the treasure. They will not allow for fair elections to take place. John's henchman made the first kill in the Wattala electorate. The underworld and the IRC personnel have come to Wattala. They are not allowing us to conduct free and fair elections. We urge the Inspector General of Police to conduct free and fair elections. Look at the amount of money that is spent by John. The former ministers from the alliance are making absurd accusations against me for popularity. Bookkeepers and drug peddlers are contesting the polls under the alliance ticket. If we speak of their flaws, I doubt anyone would vote for them. I request the president to remove my portfolio. He will not do it. He is aware of my capabilities as a lawyer and an intellectual. That is why he handed over the ministry to me. I have no affiliations to the underworld.
Former Minister Deen Pereira addressed the media today.
A string of crimes are taking place. When Gotabaya Rajapaksa undertook the operation during the rule of the alliance government against the underworld, a number of criminal gangs fled the country. What we can say is these crimes are taking place because of their return. Under the rule of the UNP, crime is on the rise across the country. This will affect the elections as well.
The case with regard to the killing of Maratha Premachandran and 4 others was taken up before the Colombo High Court today. The case will be taken up before a 3-judge bench commencing today.
The case was taken up before the 3-judge bench of Justices Shiran Gunathilaka, Padmini Ranavika Gunathilaka and MP B. Marias, who was appointed by the Chief Justice to look into the case. The 12 accused of the homicide, including former United People's Freedom Alliance MP Duminda Silva, appeared in court today. The suspects are charged with attending an illegal meeting in Angoda on the 8th of October 2011, including Maratha Premachandran, attempted murder of an individual and inciting fear with weapons on persons who arrived to cast their vote on the same day. The accused informed court that they are not guilty of the charges that are made against them. Prior to the court proceedings, wife and brother of Priyantha Janaka Galabuda, one of the accused reported to be missing, presented facts to court. They informed court that Priyantha Janaka was abducted in a white van and has not been heard since the abduction. Police informed court that relatives of Priyantha Janaka had made a complaint with the police over the disappearance. The judge bench decided that the case is to be heard for 3 days of each week commencing the 12th of October. I was shot at first. There needs to be the truth. I believe that the truth will be exposed in the future.
හිටපු ජනාධිපතිතුමාත් බලපෑම් කරා මේ නඩුව නවත්තන්න කියලා මට සමග අම්මට ඒත් අපි නැවැත්තුවේ නැහැ.
The former president pressured my mother and asked me to stop this case. We did not do so. I will never forget the loss of my father from my life. As a result of my efforts for the past 3 years, the president did not provide nominations to Duminda Silva. This is a good step. He tried to justify the acts that he carried out with the underworld using his powers as a politician, but today he has no power. He cannot make any influence. I call upon everyone who has information to speak to now come out and reveal everything. You do not need to fear anyone now. At present, we have the government of good governance.
Prison officials have recovered 2 mobile phones from the prison cell of a suspect identified as Chaminda Ravi Jayanath alias Dematagoda Chaminda. Incidentally, Dematagoda Chaminda is the 3rd accused in the homicide of Maratha Premachandran. Minister of Justice Vijay Das Rajapaksa said that the intelligence unit of the prisons made this discovery on 2 separate occasions.
The intelligence unit of the Valikada prison carried out a special search of the cells on the 3rd and 4th of this month.
Valikada remand bandhanagare.
The J ward of the prison was searched. 2 mobile phones with SIM cards were recovered in the search. There were 2 others in the ward with the accused. The accused was transferred to the segregated housing. On the 4th, when the cells were searched, officials were able to recover another 2 mobile phones with SIM cards. The discovery confirmed that the mobile phones were moved to that cell with the assistance of the prison officials. An officer and a sergeant who assisted him were interdicted subsequent to an investigation. We have received word that some of the jailers are going to go on a strike because of the interdiction. We will not bow down to any pressure or threat and will take strict legal action against the breach of discipline. In the event they do engage in a strike action, we will take alternate measures.
The minister also added that investigations are underway over a possible link between the suspects and the drive-by shooting at a crowd of supporters of Minister Ravikarna Nayaka in Blue Mandal, Colombo.
The police have their doubts. This suspect is accused over the homicide of Maratha Premachandran and had been evading arrest. He recently surrendered to court and was placed in remand custody. Police believe that this is the nature of those
Chaminda Ravi Jainath, who was remanded for violating bail conditions in the case pertaining to the homicide of Maratha Premachandran, was produced in court today once again. Court ordered for the suspect to be further remanded until Monday.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe commented on the drive-by shooting in Bloomendal while addressing an election rally in Kirulapana yesterday.
No one will be allowed to break the law. On Saturday, 2 persons were killed in a shooting in Colombo North. Several others were injured. I instructed the IGP to look into the matter. I told him to find out what was the incident about and who was involved. I told him to investigate everyone and find out who is involved and make an immediate arrest. I instructed him to submit a report to me and the President. The IGP has informed me that the incident is being investigated and that the necessary steps will be taken. We act in accordance to the rule of law. We will not go beyond the law.
Ranil Wickremesinghe also responded to the allegations made at a UPFA media briefing recently, where bottles of poison were also displayed.
Bandulaguna Wadana and Dilan Pereira showed 4 bottles of poison and told that we will have to consume them after the elections. I am not sure for what reason the poison has to be consumed. I appointed a committee of lawyers in the ministry. That committee reported that the governor of the central bank has not committed any wrong. I do not think that anyone from our side will consume poison, and there is no need to do so. The persons who said that we have to consume poison are the ones who will have to consume that poison. I will not force them to consume poison and commit suicide.
Addressing a media briefing today, members of the United People's Freedom Alliance or UPFA commented on the bond issue.
If no such thing happened, why did they try to conceal it and appoint a fake committee? One lie was that he was involved. Then there was an attempt to prevent the report from being made public. They went to court. This clearly shows that they are trying to conceal it.
A forum took place in Colombo today under the auspices of Janatha Vimukthi Peramuna leader Anurakumara Disanayaka.
At this forum held at the new town hall in Colombo, attention was drawn towards ensuring the rights of manpower employees attached to a number of state institutions. The traditional political parties and businesses have grown old. They have grown old both politically and physically. If they enter parliament, the cane business establishments close to parliament will be successful. Can they build a country? Amazing politicians they are. Every one of them wants to protect their family. We need politics that will resolve the issues of the people rather than resolving issues in their families. We represent you. We need politics that will solve the issues of the nation. If you look at the entire trade union movement in a comparative aspect, from the outside there is an organized struggle to win their rights. However, the struggle within Parliament does not fall in line with the struggle outside Parliament. Our motive right now is to create a Parliament that will pave the way for any field.
In more local news, addressing a public meeting in the Katwana area yesterday, UNP Hambantara district candidate Sajith Premadasa slammed former President Mahinda Rajapaksa's foreign policies during his term in office as president.
After losing the presidential election, this former president is seeking another term. He's saying that the country has crumbled and that the government of good governance has destroyed 1.5 million jobs. But it was his government which got into bad terms with the European Union and completely stopped the GSP Plus concession which our country was receiving. It was the government of Mahinda Rajapaksa which was instrumental in shutting down nearly 400 factories. Mahinda Rajapaksa's foreign policy was the main cause for the loss of hundreds and thousands of jobs in our country. The meeting, which was held in the Katwana Kirimadi area, was another phase of the series of main meetings in the Hambantara district.
A meeting of the Democratic Party was held in Trincomalee today.
The meeting was held at the Trincomalee Urban Council under the patronage of party leader Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca, where the public were made aware of the party's main policies. The main reason we are holding this meeting here in Trincomalee is to elaborate on our party's policy which assures national unity, where equal rights will be given to all races and communities, all religions will be respected and the security of the people will be ensured.
ත්‍රිකුණාමලයට ඇවිල්ලා අපේ මේ රැස්වීම පැවැත්වුවේ.
Here are some views expressed on the political stage ahead of the August 17th parliamentary elections.
During these final days, they are trying to show a blue trend that does not exist. Victory is assured. They cannot bring back a trend with plastic. Come the 17th, the only thing that will remain blue are the sky and the sea and nothing else. On the 8th of January, we not only changed the government, but we changed an era. We stepped out from the era of misery and entered a pleasant era. We suffered a defeat that was unimaginable. When such a defeat is suffered, you have to wait for another 5 years to correct the mistake. If one can become Prime Minister 6 months after losing the President's post, that person can only be Mahinda Rajapaksa.
We have pledged to make tiny Sri Lanka into the best country in the whole of South Asia. However, Mahinda Rajapaksa, who ruled for 21 years, has woken up from his sleep and is saying that he will give 200,000 rupees to every couple that gets married. Mahinda Rajapaksa imposed a tax of 5,000 rupees on the marriage registration until the 8th of January. After he suffered defeat, he has remembered the youth of the country.
The development we commenced in the past has stopped. There is no trace of development after the 8th of January. This governance is not good governance. This is what you call sustainable development. The previous government undertook a temporary program to provide temporary job placements. We will provide permanent employment. The issues of employment of the youth was only addressed during the time of an alliance government and a Sri Lanka Freedom Party government. The SLFP-led alliance government created 40,000 jobs. We hope to create social economy that is based on knowledge and competitiveness. When we speak of 1 million jobs, that does not mean the current jobs. We hope to create jobs with better wages and are also competitive. We asked the UMP government, are you deaf and blind? After 2009, investors flowed into the country. The same was with the results. Investors came and opened factories to a country without war. What did the government of Rajapaksa do? They built a cricket stadium next to a jungle with elephants. They built an airport in a jungle where the cattle roam. No flights reached there. Such was the insane development that the recent government carried out. If I cannot enter parliament on my own without the help of anyone else, I will lose my self-respect. We come to you on our own. Vote for us after looking at the work that we have done. With the 100 days program, we investigated fraud and corruption in the country. After the election, all the investigation reports will be produced in court and we hope to implement the law on everyone involved. We are SLFPers. We do not need to join with anyone to form a government. We can take a seat in the opposition. There is no issue in that. We have no allegations of fraud and extortion. We have not swindled. We have not committed murder. We can take a seat anywhere.
Mahinda
Rajapaksa says that he wants to retire gracefully. If he remained at home when he was defeated by the people, he could have stayed there with respect. He is greedy for power and is coming back. He cannot be responsible for the people defeating him again and sending him packing. Dirty politics made its debut with the preferential vote system. An ordinary man will not be able to enter politics through this. I simply contested for the Pradesh Sabha. From then onwards, I moved ahead. I spent 325,000 rupees and made it to parliament. Can anyone contest the Pradesh Sabha like that? Do not sell your vote. That is a shameful act. The UNP supporter would go and vote for the symbol of the elephant. Those who get the votes cross over to the symbol of the beetle leaf. Have they no shame? The people are more intelligent. If a gas cooker was given back then, the people would rally around that person. Now it is the opposite. Remember, it does not matter what party or race you belong to, we need to make the country successful.
The Think campaign, which was launched in order to motivate voters to exercise their franchise to elect suitable persons for the legislature, took place today as well. The initiative is organised by Sirasa, Shakti and Newsfirst, together with the campaign for a free and fair election.
The Think campaign commenced day 6 from the Deniaya town. The Newsfirst team raised awareness among the public on exercising their franchise in a proper manner by distributing leaflets and obtaining signatures for the pledge.
I'm hoping to vote for a good person. I will vote for someone who works devoid of corruption and fear.
I hope to vote for someone who will render a service to the country.
The campaign was worked off in the Kotapola and Uruboka areas. The other leg of the campaign was worked off in the Mathale and Dambula towns.
I urge the public to vote for a group of persons who do not take commissions. Elect good people for a good parliament.
The campaign will head towards Makandura and Polonnaruwa tomorrow.
The 6th day of the Think campaign concluded on a successful note here at the Dambula Economic Centre. Now, the main objective of this campaign is, of course, to let the public know about the importance of their vote and to vote wisely in order to select clean public representatives in Parliament. Now, we distributed stickers and leaflets to the people to make them aware as to what they should consider when making a vote. So we at Newsfirst as well as Cafe, Sirasa and Shakti are creating awareness about the importance of the election and the importance as a citizen about your vote for the upcoming general election. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Katrina Chang reporting from Dambula.
For the first time, 4 Sri Lankan girl guides are taking part in the 23rd World Scout Jamboree in Yamaguchi, Japan. However, it is the scouts who are taking up the task of cooking meals for the team. Newsfirst Yasir Kamasiri reports from Japan.
The girl guides taking part in the World Scout Jamboree have to undergo the same training and activities as the scouts. An article penned by Kitmini Veerawardena was published in the Jamboree newsletter. It is said that scouts need to have an understanding on how to prepare a meal when away from home and out in the wilderness. Preparing a meal in a different country is a novel experience for these young Sri Lankans, where everyone takes part in the process.
The scouts must take this opportunity to see the world. It's a good way of seeing the world, easy way of seeing the world and making friends all over the world. And the friends that you make at this age, under 18, will continue for so many years. If I give you an example, I have met scouts in World Jamborees for over 30-35 years. And still they are my friends and we continue in scouting.
The 23rd World Scout Jamboree will conclude tomorrow.
On to sports news now. Today was day 4 of the Experience Sri Lanka with Commandos 4x4 expedition organised by the Sri Lanka Army Commando Regiment. Sports First is the media sponsors of the event. The expedition was flagged off today from Ulhitia and saw participants pass many obstacles across rough terrain to cover the 167 kilometers. Subsequent to the adventurous experience in Sagama, the Experience Sri Lanka with Commandos 4x4 expedition reached its destination for the day, Arugambe.
Before wrapping up tonight's news, a look back at one of our top stories. Prison officials have recovered 2 mobile phones from the prison cell of a suspect identified as Chaminda Ravi Jayanath alias Dematagoda Chaminda. Incidentally, Dematagoda Chaminda is the 3rd accused in the killing of Maratha Premachandran. Chaminda Jayanath, who was remanded for violating bail conditions in the case pertaining to the killing of Maratha Premachandran, was produced in court today once again. Court ordered for the suspect to be further remanded until Monday.
And that's a wrap of Primetime News for tonight. For the News First team, I'm Ramesh Rugal Bandara.
And I'm Sonali Wanik Padage. Good night.